The Eighth Amendment is where the government can't make you pay way more than you should for bail or fines, and the government can't order you to unusual punishment such as torture. The Eighth Amendment was ratified in 1788. The concept of the Eighth Amendment dates back to the 1689 Bill of Rights that were passed in England. This amendment came about after the case of Titus Oates, who was tried for numerous acts of perjury, which had caused a lot of executions of people who had been wrongly accused. When he was sent to imprisonment, where was whipped, George Mason and Patrick Henry wanted to make sure that this amendment would apply as a limitation on Congress. Mason brought up that the Congress might end up inflicting unusual and severe punishment. Without this amendment, people who were in jail would be treated terribly and be subjected to cruel punishments. Also, the bail price would be set higher than what it should be.
Amendment 16. Amendment 16 gives Congress the power to collect taxes from any source, including large and small businesses, homes, and estates. This amendment, first passed in 1913, made the taxing system easier and more efficient, and also established the difference between taxation on indirect and direct taxes. This amendment also led to the creation of Internal Revenue Service and several departments of revenue.
The 19th Amendment enables all women over the age of 21 the right to vote. Let me give you a little recap of how this long, hard battle went down. Beginning in the mid-1800s, reform groups of all types flourished and fought for their rights. In 1848, the first Women's Rights Convention was held by a reformer, Elizabeth Stanton. More than 300 people from around the world, men and women, attended, including well-known reformer Frederick Douglass. They began to fight for more opportunities in jobs, education, and politics. Organizations fighting for these rights thought it would be best to gain amendments through individual states. In 1839, Wyoming became the first state to pass the amendment, allowing women 21 and over the right to vote. Over 40 years later, only 4 states had passed the amendment. Finally, in 1920, the amendment was passed by one vote, all because a mother of the final voting representative wrote a letter changing his mind about the topic. This amendment has had a large impact on today's world too. We see women in very powerful political positions, including judges, presidential candidates. If it wasn't for the long, hard battle fought in the 19th and 20th century, this world would not be the same.